What's up, my Makokos, Raid Pros and Bonk Bros, Defender here, and welcome back to another video. I hope you're all having an incredible week wherever you are and that you're enjoying more Lost Ark content. Now, I talked about some of the recent changes Amazon have done, and it's been successful in my opinion. With the bot ban wave, we've seen some positive changes in game. There are still some disconnects, and I talked about that in my previous video. Hopefully they're addressing that down the line, but there is no update on that yet. But we do have the patch notes for tomorrow's reset of the, I think it's the 18th of January, the official patch notes. And we have the big Witcher update, right? Everyone has been excited for this collab since Korea had it last year. First collab for us in the West. I'm not sure if Korea ever had any collabs before, but this is the first one for us, and hopefully it's the first of many. I would love to see lots of our favorite lore, content, universes collab and crossover with Lost Ark. You guys have some interesting ideas on ones that could cross over with us. Maybe leave in the comment down below some of the ones you think would be kind of viable. I think you could look at something like Legend of Zelda, maybe something like Berserk. These kind of fantasy things I think could easily interchangeably swap with Lost Ark. Maybe there are other fantasy ones that you could think of, or maybe even stuff that matches things like Arthurtine. You know, and you have kind of the Scouter and the Artillerist with their kind of more futuristic fantasy, if you will, approach to weapons. Maybe there are things that match with that, like Final Fantasy, for example. But yeah, let me know in the comments down below things that you would like to see in a collab. I think this is a very, very good start, and I think it's going to be very popular. I do know that people aren't happy that the artist, the specialist class, if you will, isn't getting the skin for Ciri, and they have confirmed that's going to be the case. We won't be able to retroactively use that skin with her. So bear in mind when this update comes out, if you're looking to get the skins for the specialist, the Ayaya, the little character, you won't be able to do that. It won't retroactively work. Aww. So that is unfortunate. But let's go through the patch notes and look at everything else, because there is a huge, huge change for new returning players and the current player base that want to play different ways of their class and improve, and to finally stop being gatekept in some small areas. So we'll go through the whole list, and I'll touch on that as we get further down. So we have the big crossover here. As you can see, this is Geralt and Ciri, and this is the warrior and the assassin classes, right? So this is how they can look compared to Geralt and Ciri. So very, very close, actually. And I think it's a really, really good attempt at a crossover of cosmetics. So I don't want to get too much into the Witcher content. I want you guys to explore that yourself and enjoy it. There's a huge write-up on Twitter by Lost in Arcasia. I'll put his information in the details below, and he's covered all the Korean stuff, and they're going to match that with the release. I think we get some card set, we get some stronghold stuff. Obviously, there's all the cosmetics, there's mount, there's missions, an island that stays, I believe, as well, after the event's over. Yeah, there's lots of stuff. There's potions, there's emotes, there's loads of things that we can get that sticks with us after the event's over. So go to their Twitter, I should say, and have a look through there if you don't mind some spoilers. I'm sure, you know, there will be some spoilers in there. So just bear that in mind. We have a big guild system rework. So that's going to cover the kind of gold usage that you can do. I believe you can donate more gold than just the 100 per day if you wanted to, but it does cap out. But it does go towards your contribution for the week and how they use it if they wanted more gold in the guild bank. Have some new skills for the guild, and this comes into because we're getting more guild v guild content. Okay, so we're getting 3 new GVEs, if you will, some bosses, but we're also getting some new VP changes. So we're getting an extra content for the guild v guild stuff, and also the islands that you were doing before outside of the guild v guild, they require less contribution now to participate and have a successful outcome. And these are the 2 new PvP islands. You have the Golden Wave and the Lush Reed. They sound very interesting. This one seems very much like Capture the Flag, where you grab the other team's chest and have to run back as a Tuki. And then this one is kind of a more versus environment one, if you will. So I don't really know how that one's going to play out, but they both seem interesting and a nice different change to the way that GVG goes. Okay, and then we have some other small changes to Unas. Shouldn't affect most of you, but it's just kind of like quality of life stuff, and like achievements, and the rewards have changed slightly for some of them. Most part, though, I don't think this affects anyone that plays the game at the moment or has been doing their Unas as it goes. Then we have the changes to the Throne Spire and the Anguish Isle. If you didn't know, these were vendors that you could get legendary engravings from. and you could open them and sell them. And this is something that bots were doing a lot of, and now they've completely decided to make them untradeable across the board on these. So if you haven't done these already, I'm sorry, these are no longer tradable. You will have to use them on your own account. You can't make any money from these anymore, and I'm not sure if that's an attempt to counter bots again in the Thronespire and Anguishdal, or if it's just something that was progressive, similar to Korea, and mirroring what they've done. The biggest thing I want to talk about, though, is this. Now, this is probably the biggest change in the update that's happening tomorrow that anyone will see, and I think you'll all agree it's the absolute biggest here. And as you can see, Pheons have been addressed. Now, it's not the fix that I think people wanted with Pheons, but it's the fix that I think will hold for now, and it's big for new and returning players especially. Okay, so what they've done is the first 2 tiers, there are no longer any Pheons required with any of the accessories and equipment, okay, including ability stones, they say here. And in tier 3, which is where most of you are in endgame, they've made a huge change to the cost of accessories for Pheons. As you can see here, 25 on relic accessories is now 15, and that is where most people will want to know. We've lost 10 Pheons on the cost of relic accessories, which is huge. It's almost half the price as it was before. I'm a little bit mad because I just completely geared out a gravity training build on my destroyer from the ground up, literally like 4 days ago, and so I've just spent 160 plus Pheons, and it's probably going to be more like 80 Pheons now, maybe 85 Pheons to gear out that build. But this is good for anyone that's coming back, or anyone that hasn't been able to get into content because they're not able to afford a 5x3, or their honing was so successful but they weren't able to catch up in their accessories and their engravings, because the honing is much easier now with the buffs and the changes and the Hyper Express. But unfortunately, the Pheon and the engraving gatekeeping side hasn't changed for those players, the newer players, the players that are kind of mid tier 3, they're not able to get anywhere. And this is a huge change because we've recently just been given a bunch of Pheons. And so if you haven't spent them yet, this will be able to gear you up. And we're also going to get a new login track, if you will, for, I'm guessing, in the next 30 days or so, starting tomorrow. So we don't know what that is yet, unless someone on Twitter has leaked a copy of what it's going to be. We don't know. But generally speaking, we should get some more Pheons as well. So hopefully you can gear up some more of your alts or your main into the Brashaza content, if that's what you're looking for. Okay, so we also have more rewards on the masterpieces. I don't know what the Vidici's invitation is going to be. I'm guessing it's another vendor for your stronghold. Hopefully he has something really good, but otherwise not much really that you'd care about there. With the masterpieces, you don't need to rush in for that. The power passes are ending tonight or tomorrow morning when the maintenance hits, so please make sure you use the power pass and the Hyper Express before then, because they are going, and I don't know when the next one is going to be, and they haven't announced when the next one's going to be. And then we have some other small changes here to icons, settings. You can move people around in your groups now. There's better ways of viewing things. We have the songs from the wallpapers that you might have purchased or unlocked in the game. Those songs that go into your jukebox. And then there are a few other changes as well, like the Instacast. Now, the Instacast is really good for a lot of classes. Not for some, though, so that it's not just for everybody. Be aware of the class you play and whether or not it's going to be viable for you. But essentially what it does is it allows you to, a lot of classes, you might be double clicking your ability on a location before you cast it, right? So I don't know, maybe like Doomsday. You're obviously selecting Doomsday as your ability, and then it'll give you kind of the icon of where it would go, and then you're pressing it again to land that ability. This makes it no longer the case. Okay, so you would just go your mouse to the location you want and you press Doomsday and it would go off. You don't need to double click it. Now it does give you a small DPS increase in terms of your micro gameplay, right? So you're clicking less for the same cooldown activation. So technically speaking, your rotations will be slightly faster, but it's just a quality of life thing more than anything else. Okay, and then they've made things like your vendor pages larger now. So instead of 5, there's up to 12 items on a page, and you can scroll down with the mouse wheel through that. Generally speaking, nothing huge in that way. And then the next big one I want to talk about, if you've ever watched any of the Korean streamers, is favoriting your engravings. Now what this does is you're going to favorite some of the engravings you want. You can do quite a few of them, as it says here, 40 notifications. And when an accessory drops with that engraving, the accessory is going to have a little icon on it in your inventory to let you know that accessory has an engraving that you want. And so a good technique in Korea is just to dismantle all the stuff that doesn't have the little icon that you need from that accessory, so you know it doesn't have any of the engravings you're looking for. So maybe, for example, if you're an ambush master class, you're going to go for your your main class engraving, your ambush, and then things like grudge, curse style, keen blunt, adrenaline, all those, your favorite those. And then if a piece comes up with those on it, it'll asterisk it and let you know. That combined with your auto dismantle, you can make sure that only things that you see then in your inventory are things like crit, swiftness, and spec, right? Not wasting time going through domination, endurance, plus bad engravings as well. All that stuff just gets instantly deleted, and you can worry about the stuff that you want to see, and then you can just dismantle the stuff that is kind of in the middle somewhere that you don't want. It's another nice quality of life change that Korea's had, and it will benefit us. So you don't have to go through your huge list of accessories every day from chaoses and raids and guardians. Much quicker way of doing things, and I'm really for it. So another nice quality of life change. And then let's get into the Witcher content that we know about. This is the stuff they've shared. So we have the themed items. I don't want to go into the trailer because the trailer's been up for a while. You can access it yourself. I will link it in the description below so you can watch it. But you have these skins, you have cosmetics you can buy to go and change your character's look. Okay, and you can look like Geralt or Ciri, or you can just use those to look however you want as a result. We also have the Kaer Morhen wallpaper, which I love. You know, this is where the Witchers train. It's their stronghold in the Witcher games. And you can see kind of in the background, if you zoom in, you can see Ciri training, young Ciri, I believe, training on the obstacle courses, the training courses that she does in the other games and in the show, I believe, as well. But as you can see, pretty convincing skins, very lovely wallpaper, beautiful. I don't know what it's going to cost though, or what package it comes with. I'm sure it's on Twitter. And then we have what I believe is to be the Chinese New Year skins. And these are not suits for once, right? So we can all rejoice. There's no longer suits given to us as an update. These are much different from before, and I'm all about this. Okay, so we have some nice skirts. We have lovely jackets and robes. I love this. I love this style. I think there's a little bit of winter style here as well for you if you want it, but it's nice to not be suits for once, okay? So hopefully you guys enjoy these skins. Do you like these skins, or were you expecting something different? Let me know in the comments down below if you're going to get any of these. I will probably end up getting the robe slash kind of jacket. I'm not sure the term for it in the culture. I'm sorry. It's probably me being very ignorant, but I love that look, and I probably would get that on a martial artist or a warrior for sure. And these are some of the weapons as well you can expect to see. We have the Glaivier, the Destroyer, the Artist. I think that's Soulfist, and I believe this is either warrior or assassin. This could be the Berserker, or it could be one of the assassin ones, okay? And then the pets, we have an adorable cow that I think is quite popular in Korea. And we have the New Year tiger mounts as well. A little bit different from the previous ones that we were given in the Arc Pass. So maybe you might be interested in one of the ones with the more styles and the beads. It could be something you're a fan of. I don't know. But that is pretty much it. We have some small quality of life changes here that don't really affect anyone, I believe. I've had a quick look through them. They're just small fixes. Nothing really that important. And that is all of the update. Okay, so the big things that I want to mention, if you're TLDRing at the end of this video, are Pheon costs are basically halved. It's around 60% of the original price for all of the tier 3 stuff. Tier 1 and 2, no Pheons needed anymore. So you can pretty much gear up your alts and your main much cheaper, 60% of the Pheon cost, which obviously saves gold if you're blue crystalling to Pheons as well. So 60% of the gold cost. So huge. And we might see that affect the accessory prices as well, because things are going to start to sell a lot quicker. And then the last thing of the two was the engravings, right? So make sure that you start favoriting your engravings so you can see them in your accessories that drop, and then you can just auto dismantle stuff really quickly without having to look through everything, and then just look at the ones with the favorites that you're interested in, and that will be a nice quick quality of life change. And then there is that instacast thing that's changed as well, which is great for some of the classes, but not all. So just play around with it. You might not want it on some of your classes, but some of the ones like the casters, the mage classes, they absolutely will want to be using it. I think St. Tones talked about the benefits of it before for some classes and then the disadvantages for others. So you can probably find that clip online somewhere. I don't have a link to it, unfortunately. But that is everything in the video. Huge updates. Pheon success. I think as a community, that's a big W for us. I think we've complained about Pheons enough that they're starting to take us more seriously on it. And maybe it's going to affect the blue crystal price as well. Who knows? Maybe we'll have a lot of royal crystals pumped into the economy because people are wanting the new skins and the new Witcher content. And hopefully the blue crystals will also be affected by that. And with those two-pronged approach, we might see it being more affordable for a lot of people, and then accessories starting to get bought up more, 5x3s being more common, 4x3s being more common, and as a result we see less gatekeeping and less elitism. I think overall those things can only improve, and this is a good start for it. Hopefully that's the case, and that we keep moving in this right direction, because I think this is a good attempt by AGS to tackle some of those issues. We'll see how it plays out in reality from tomorrow onwards. But yeah, hopefully you guys enjoy the Witcher content that starts tomorrow. I'm not sure how long it's with us, but I think it's going to be full of goodies and a nice change of pace from the other content. But that is everything from the video. As always, if you enjoyed the videos, please make sure you leave a like and a comment down below with what you want to see in other videos that I'm doing. And if you're not already, please subscribe, because I want to keep pumping out content as fast as possible to you guys and keep delivering everything hot off the press as soon as it happens. So yeah, stick around for more videos, and I will see you in the next one. You have a great day. Take care.